Good morning, everyone. Now we'll get an idea about the pumps. Fifth module of the turbo machine. We'll understand the velocity triangles first. The inlet velocity triangle is a right angle triangle. That is V1 is as minimum as possible. Therefore, V1 is equal to VA1, and this is our VR1. That is the relative velocity with which water entering the pump. Then the distance between these two is always U. That is the blade velocity at inlet. That is U1. The angle made by the relative velocity, that will be always alpha 1. The angle made by the absolute velocity is always alpha 1. The angle made by the relative velocity is always beta 1. The angle made by the absolute velocity is always alpha 1. Now coming to the outlet velocity triangle, this is the V2, that is the absolute velocity with which water going out of the moving blade, and this are VR2, the relative velocity at outlet. And this absolute velocity can be done with respect to two things, that is vertical and horizontal. Vertical is Vf2, horizontal is Vu2. The angles made by the absolute velocity is always alpha, that is V2 is nothing but angle is alpha 2. The angle made by the relative velocity Vr2 is always beta 2. If I join V2 to VR2, that will be always U2. This is the inlet and outlet velocity triangle with respect to pump. Now, in this pump module, we have two important derivations that should be noted down. That is, minimum speed for starting a centrifugal pump. Here, what is the condition is, the blade velocity should be greater than or equal to the manometric head. Since the condition is minimum 1, I will equate that to equal sign. Therefore, U2 square minus U1 square, U2 square by 2g minus U1 square by 8g is equal to manometric head. This manometric head can be taken by means of the manometric efficiency formula. Okay, by using that, find out the HM, substitute here. Then U can be written as pi d n by 60. U2 is nothing but pi d2 n by 60. U1 is nothing but pi d1 n by 60. Since then, keep only the n towards LHS and substitute everything towards RHS. We get n is equal to 120 into manometric efficiency into VU2 into D2 divided by pi D2 square minus D1 square. This is the minimum speed required for starting a centrifugal pump. Similarly, we have the second derivation here, that is pressure rise in an impeller. Pressure rise in an impeller is by using a steady flow energy equation. We used to derive this. Okay, that is 1 by 2g into Vf1 square plus U2 square plus minus Vf2 square cosecant square beta 2. This is a pressure rise in the impeller. Final disk formula. Okay. Therefore, here what we have done is, we have just taken the steady flow energy equation before entering the pump and after water leaving the pump. Okay. Therefore, this is very much important as well as easiest derivations what you can expect in the fifth module of a pump. Next, we have three different types of efficiencies. First one is a manometric efficiency, mechanical efficiency, and overall efficiency. Okay, efficiency is nothing but output by input, right? Therefore, output for a manometric efficiency is nothing but manometric rate, that is HM. Okay, input is nothing but work done, that is U2 VU2 by G. Okay, here we don't have a U1. Okay, VU1. Why? Because V1 itself vertical straight line. Therefore, VU2 into U2 by G. Okay, or else we don't have a blade velocity at inlet, that is VU1 is 0. Okay, if I divide output by input is our manometric efficiency, that is G into HM divided by U2 VU2. Similarly, the mechanical efficiency, the output is nothing but rho into Q discharge U2 VU2 divided by the shaft power, that is P. Therefore, the efficiency, mechanical efficiency is nothing but rho Q into U2 VU2 divided by P. Next, overall efficiency. Overall efficiency is nothing but pump power divided by the shaft power, that is WQH by P. Therefore, these are the few formulas, general formulas will be noted down with respect to pumps. Now, there are few theory questions to be noted here, that is cavitation, and very much important theory question is net positive suction rate or NPSH, and one more question is pumps in series and pumps in parallel. Whenever we have a pumps in series, we have head can be increased, that is total head is equal to number of pumps multiplied by the head with respect to individual pump. Similarly, pumps in parallel is nothing but Q total is equal to number of pumps into discharge with respect to individual pump. Similarly, these are the theory questions what you can get, and the formulas related to the pumps chapter are U is equal to pi d n by 60, tan beta 2 is equal to Vf2 divided by U2 minus Vu2, manometric efficiency is nothing but GHM by Vu2 U2, Q is nothing but pi dB into Vf, or Q can also be written as pi d1 B1 into Vf1, or pi d2 B2 into Vf2, or pi d1 B1 into Vf1 into C. C indicate the area occupied by the vanes. Vf is nothing but discharge divided by the area of flow, or flow velocity is nothing but discharge divided by the area. Okay, work done with respect to per second is mass flow rate into U2 VU2, or mass flow rate can be written as rho into Q into U2 VU2. The final formula here is static head is nothing but, okay, that is head at the suction end plus head at the delivery end. Here we are suppose missed few formulas, that is HF 4FLV square by 2GD, that should be also noted down. Okay, and manometric head can be considered with respect to all different types of heads, that is HS, that is head at the suction end, plus HFS, that is a friction loss at the suction end, plus HD, that is friction head at the discharge end, plus HFD, that is friction at the discharge pipe, plus the velocity or kinetic energy at the outlet, that is Vd square by 2g. Okay, if I add all those things, that is nothing but Hm. Okay, therefore these are the few formulas related to the pumps. Okay, before entering to the examination, kindly go through this. Thank you very much.